Hello, ladies and gents. It is time once again for me, Eyesore the Clown, to review the new Weezer release. And it is time once again for me, Eyesore the Clown, to put into the simplest amount of terms that the new Weezer release is, in fact, it's alright. It is alright. Autumn is the third release in the series of seasons, and builds on top of precedents set in its predecessors, that being a mixed bag full of corny lyrics, a dog with rabies, boredom, and occasional greatness. That overall is increasing my growing sentiment that even if Seasons is good, it could have been great if it focused on one solo release and trimmed all the fat. But enough about Seasons as a whole. How does Autumn fare on its own? The EP opens on kind of a weird note, with Cant Dance, Don't Ask Me, which when I first heard it, I felt really disappointed, bored even. I felt the song fell flat, but I swear to God that every time I listened to that cursed track, I started to enjoy it slightly more, and more, and more, until where we are now, where it's my favorite on the EP, and I dance in my little seat while listening to it. The track has a similar sound that you would have heard if Matt Sharp were still in the band, with that synthesizer thing present in like Pinkerton and Blue specifically. The lyrics are a bit corny, like everything else in Seasons, but it's followed up with a genuine cadence and pace that make it feel more legitimate than some of the fall flatters of Seasons past. Then we get on to Get Off on the Pain. It's very dull overall. I find myself quite liking the chorus with the inflection on saying I with the brief pause afterwards, but other than that, it's just okay. It's mediocre even, not really earning a place on my shuffle, that's for sure. What Happens After You is a single release for the EP, I think. It's really weird to me because I like the start of it, but when it gets to the chorus, it falls flat in my opinion. I found myself thinking, is that it? Really? But the idea of the song isn't bad per se. The song feels like a Black Album track combined with the post-break Fall Out Boy. And I can't help but feel like the song could be better with more time in the Easy Bake Weezer album oven. But despite this, it gets a spot on the shuffle because I like listening to it. For now. If What Happens After You sounds like Fall Out Boy and Black Album, Francesca sounds like a Pacific Daydream track with the guitars of Van Weezer. Maybe. Give or take, give or take. And that's a compliment coming from me, a big fan of both of those albums. Unlike some of the tracks that had to grow on me, I felt this one was a bop from the start and got a quick and easy shuffle placement. Should She Stay or Should She Go is the song that progresses the album concept of Seasons. And it does a good job at it too. I don't have much of an observation for it beside that. It's a love song of someone on the rocks placed in the fantasy setting set up by the Spring EP and the turmoil and grief alluded to in the Summer EP, and it does it pretty well. Tastes Like Pain leans into some orchestral elements found in OK Human, a delightful surprise, to say the least, along with the sense of anxiety found in the album as well, and it's elevated even further by this really sharp, intense, what I believe is a violin. Please do not grab me by the hair and pull my head off if it's not a violin. It's like a viola or something like that, but I think it's a violin. Who cares? I do. I care. I'm the one talking about Weezer. Intrusive thoughts. They're coming after you. They want to take your eyes out of your face because you like Weezer. They want to persecute you for playing in Weezer. Anyway. I like the homage to the classical music piece that it's based the tune off of. Like, I don't know the name of it, and I don't really find myself in need of trying to find it. But if you listen to the track, if you've heard the track, you know what I'm talking about. I think it's just overall, it's just the most potent track on the EP. Aside from maybe this next one. But I think it leans more towards Tastes Like Pain. And finally, we get to the notorious Seasons closer. The trend continues here because Run Raven Run is simply great. It has the beats and tones of a spring album track, but with the negative aura of autumn to this like lullaby song, until suddenly it switches it up. Around the halfway point, it decides to bring in one of the most well-loved and well-known Rivers Cuomo Weezer demo, Pacific Sunset. And unlike Blue Dream, by gosh, it works here. The guitar swell towards the climax is so freaking sweet, and when it hits the chorus of the demo, I kid you not, I started to tear up and swell with emotion. I was like, holy shit, it's Pacific Sunset. Oh my gosh. It doesn't suck either. He didn't ruin it. I was so happy. And you know, is my enjoyment from a place of fan service or beautiful composition? Who knows? The world may never know. But who cares? I loved it. It's probably my favorite track on the album aside from Wait. Okay, I say that Cant Dance, Don't Ask Me is my favorite track, but I've never said its name properly without looking at it beforehand. So maybe it's Run Raven Run. Maybe I gotta be honest with you guys. Anyway, overall, Autumn is pretty alright. It definitely requires a bit of an open mind to enjoy. Like, I think if you're not going in with the mindset of, oh, this is gonna be silly little Shakespeare Weezer, hee 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 hee, you're just gonna come out of it thinking it was really dorkish. And hell, you could go in with that standard and think that it's really dorkish. But if you like this dorkish sound of Weezer, if you think it's not bad, I think you will like this EP along with the others. I feel like the EP can also take several listens to get full enjoyment from the tracks at hand. Like, I didn't really cling to very much of the EP at first listen, but when I made myself go listen to it a few more times because I didn't want to do this video, only listen to it at once, I started going, oh wow, yeah, this is good, and I just started eating more of this Weezer sandwich. But you know, considering it's only 24 minutes, I'd say like re-listening to it isn't much of a commitment. Like, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. It's not like, oh, it's gonna get better, guys, I swear. It's like, oh, I just found myself enjoying it more. Anyways, to close this off, if I had to rank it, I'd say it's a light going to a Halloween party. But there's no decor or Halloween costumes, to the point it could just pass as a normal party. And while it wasn't the best party, or even a really good party, it wasn't a bad one. And I'd go to the party again next year. Anyway, this is Eyesore the Clown. Peace and love, signing out. Eyesore the Clown unsigning out for just a second to say, guys, there's been this nasty rumor going around the playground. They say you got cooties, and that the only way to get rid of these cooties is to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for future videos, such as how I'm going to be talking about the Weezer Summer EP next week, since I missed the period to do it on release, and I feel like I have some things to say about it. So, you know, if you want to get rid of those cooties, you know, if you want Jimmy and Tammy and all those guys, you know, to come back and play some bros on bros with you, you know, you got to get rid of those cooties by hitting the subscribe button. Okay, yeah. Joke aside, bye-bye.